Hi everyone, welcome back to i-TUTOR IAS Academy, Tamilnadu History NCERT series. And today we are discussing chapter 20, India after independence. Okay, so after the independence in 1947, the most immediate and important task before the Indian leaders were the drafting of the constitution and integration of India states into the Indian Union, and they had also been vested with the responsibility of making India economically sound and scientifically modern. And in the long term perspective, the most challenging tasks ahead have been the removal poverty, progression of education among the masses, for which the successive government continues to take necessary steps. Okay, so in India gained independence from British rule on August 15, 1947, and simultaneously entering a violent partition that created Pakistan and caused massive displacement. And the new nation, led by figures like Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel, integrated over 500 princely states, adopted a democratic constitution in 1950, and overcame immense economic, social, and political challenges to become a major global power. And what are the key aspects of post independence India? One of the partition and refugee. And the division of the country led to massive communal violence and the migration of millions, forcing the new government to focus on rehabilitation and integration of princely states. And around 562 princely states were integrated into the Indian Union, ensuring national unity and constitution and democracy. The constitution, which came into effect on January 26, 1950, established India as a democratic republic with the universal adult suffrage, fundamental rights, and secular framework. Okay, and reorganization of states in 1950s and 60s, India was reorganized into states based on language, that is linguistic reorganization to manage administrative and regional demands. In UPSC aspirant, in your polity, you are studying these all things, constitution and reorganization of states, etc. And economic development, and initial years focused on planning, that is 5-year plans, and agriculture later. In 1991, liberalization, the Manmohan Singh time, there is liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies transformed the economy. And it's shortly called LPG. And foreign policy, India adopted a policy of non-alignment during the Cold War, maintaining independence from both the US and Soviet blocs, and played a significant role in world affairs. And challenges and the progress are the despite early prediction of failure, India has made strides in science, technology, agriculture, that is green revolution, and space exploration, while continuously addressing poverty and social inequality. Okay, so this is the actually the post independence era is marked by a transition from a colonial agrarian economy to a diverse, modern, and democratic nation. Okay, that is the change happened in the India after independence, basically. So the picture of Dr. Rajendra Prasad is here. The Constitution of India. The Constitution Assembly began in work on 9 December 1946, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as its chairman. And B.R. Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of the drafting committee. And after a detailed discussion, the Constitution of India was finally adopted on 26 November 1949. Okay, so the Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. So, since the day is celebrated as the Republic Day. So, that is the Constitution of India. And the salient features of the Indian Constitution are the adult suffrage, parliamentary system, fundamental right, DPSP, that is directive principles, and it provides a combination of federal and unitary forms of governance at the center, and the powers of the government have been clearly stated in the three lists, that is central, state, and concurrent list. And the president is the constitutional head of the state, while the prime minister is the head of the executive, and the prime minister is the leader of the party that has majority in the Lok Sabha. And the Indian parliament has two houses, that is Rajya Sabha and upper house. Okay, Rajya Sabha also called upper house, and the Lok Sabha, that is lower house. Okay, so you can remember LL. lower is Lok Sabha and upper is Rajya Sabha. Okay, each state has its own government headed by the chief minister, who remain the leader of the majority party in the respective legislative assembly, and thus democratically elected government rule the nation, and provision is made for periodical election. And the judiciary remains the upholder of the constitution. Okay, so there is uh, Indian judiciary system consists of a Supreme Court at the center and High Court at the state, and the subordinate courts in each states are under the control of the High Court. Okay, so this is the division of our constitutional system. And next is integration of princely states. So at the time of independence, there were 11 British provinces and nearly 566 princely states. And after departure of the British from India, the princes of Indian states began to dream of independence. And with great skill and masterful diplomacy, Sardar Vallabhai Patel, so here this is for Sardar Vallabhai Patel, succeeded in integrating the princely states with the Indian Union by August 15, 1947. And only three of them, that is Junagadh, Jammu and Kashmir, Hyderabad, refused to join. And the ruler of Junagadh expressed his willingness to join Pakistan against the wishes of the people of that state. And Patel sent Indian troops, and after a plebiscite, Junagadh joined in Indian Union. And the state of Jammu and Kashmir border in India and Pakistan. Its ruler was Raja Hari Singh, and in the beginning he also claimed independent status. And when the Pathan tribes led by Pakistan army officers invaded Kashmir, and Hari Singh sought the help of India, Nehru pointed out that under international law, India could send its troop only after the state's accession to India. Therefore, 26 October 1947, Raja Hari Singh signed the Instrument of Accession. Okay, that is the document for, and Jammu Kashmir has become a integral part of India. Okay, and in case of Hyderabad, the Nizam refused to join in Indian Union. After repeated appeal, 1948 Indian troops moved to Hyderabad and Nizam surrendered. Finally, Hyderabad accessed to the Indian Union. And thus, the Union of India was established with the integration and accession of the princely states with the Indian Union. And this formidable task was fulfilled by the Iron Man of India, that is Sardar Vallabhai Patel, joined all princely states in India. So that is now days Indian states. Okay, and the linguistic reorganization of the state in 1948, the first linguistic provinces commission headed by S.K. Dar was appointed by the Constituent Assembly to inquire into possibilities of linguistic provinces, and this commission advised against such a step. And in the same year, another committee known as JVP committee, consisting of Jawaharlal Nehru, J for Jawaharlal Nehru, V for Vallabhai Patel, and P for Patabi Siddharamaiah, that is JVP committee, was appointed by the Congress party. And this committee also did not favor for linguistic provinces, but there were popular movement for state reorganization all over the country, and it was intensive in Andhra. And therefore, in 1953, Andhra was created as a separate state. Simultaneously, Madras was created as a Tamil speaking state, and the struggle by MP Shivagnanam to retain the Tirutani with the Madras was a memorable event in the history of Tamil Nadu. And the success of Andhra's struggle encouraged other linguistic groups to agitate for their own states. And in 1953, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru appointed the State Reorganization Committee with Justice Fazal Ali as its chairman, and Pandit Hridayanath Kunstru and Sardar K.M. Panikar as its members. And the commission submitted its report on 30th September 1955. Based on this report, the State Reorganization Act was passed by the Parliament in 1956, and it provided for 16 states and 6 union territories, and the Telangana region was transferred to Andhra. And Kerala was created by merging the Malabar district with the Travancore Cochin, and there was strong movement of the Tamil linguistic people in Travancore, that is Kanyakumari, who struggled to be part of the state of Tamil Nadu. And that is about the linguistic reorganization of the state after independence. And Indian polity 1947 to 2000. Indian first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was considered the architect of modern India, and he consolidated the Indian independence by forging national unity, nurturing democratic institutions, promoting science and technology, planning for economic development, and by following independent foreign policy. And he was truly a nation builder, and he died in 1964. And Lal Bahadur Shastri succeeded Nehru as the next Prime Minister of India, and he remained a role model for honesty in public life, and he ended the Indo-Pak War of 1965 by conducting the Tashkent Agreement in January 1966. His ultimately death was great loss to the nation. So that is Lal Bahadur Shastri's time and Nehru. This is Jawaharlal Nehru and the picture. And Indira Gandhi, next is Indira Gandhi, daughter of Nehru, became prime minister in 1966 and bravely faced the domestic challenges such as scarcity of food and foreign pressure during 1971 and Bangladesh crisis. And when opposition to her rule gathered momentum in 1975, she brought emergency rule and a black mark in the democratic tradition of India. However, she restored democratic rule by announcing general election in 1977, in which she was defeated. Later 1980, she was able to regain power by democratic means, and in 1983, she undertook Blue Star Operation in the Golden Temple at Amritsar, Punjab. As a result, unfortunately, she was shot dead by her own bodyguard in 1984 as a vengeance to her policy towards Punjab militancy. So next is Janata Party rule for brief period of time, that is 1977 to 1980, brought by Morarji Desai. So this is a picture of Morarji Desai as the Janata Party rule as a Prime Minister of India. For the first time, a non-Congress ministry was formed after independence. And the lack of unity among the Janata leaders had resulted in the fall of the Janata government. And Rajiv Gandhi became Prime Minister of India in 1984 after her mother Indira Gandhi's assassination. He introduced new education policy and encouraged foreign investment. So this is the picture of Rajiv Gandhi. And in 1987, he sent the Indian peacekeeping force to Sri Lanka with the view to put an end to ethnic violence. And he continued as prime minister till the next election held in 1989. Later in May 1991, he was assassinated by the Sri Lankan Tamil extremist. Okay, so that is the end of Rajiv Gandhi time. After that, VP Singh was the prime minister between 1989 and 1991, and he was leading an anti-Congress coalition called the Janata Dal. So this is VP Singh, and during his tenure, he decided to implement the Mandal Commission report, which provided reservation for other backward classes. And his government was marked by factionalism, and he was forced to resign in 1990. And the next prime minister is Chandrasekhar, held the office from November 1990 to March 1991. So for a for 5 6 months. And in June 1991, P.V. Narasimha Rao became Prime Minister, and he moved decisively towards new economic reform, reducing the government's economic role, instituting austerity measure, and encouraging foreign investment. And the Finance Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, role in this sphere is worth nothing. And as a result, India started moving towards liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So this is the 1991 year. So LPG system started from here. So that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So this is one of the next phase of the Indian economy. Actually, the Dr. Manmohan Singh role in this sphere is worth nothing. And after the election of 1996, Adil Bihari Vajpayee became prime minister from the BJP party, but he was not able to prove majority in the parliament. And Deve Gowda formed a coalition government, and he was the 11th prime minister of India, that is on 1996 to 1997. And he was from the state of Karnataka, and his government also fell due to the no confidence motion voted jointly by the Congress and the BJP. And he was succeeded by I.K. Gujral for brief period in 1997, and Adal Bihari Vajpayee became the Prime Minister of India in 1998, and in 1999 election, the National Democratic Alliance under the leadership of Vajpayee formed the government. And his period witnessed two important events. One was Kargil War with Pakistan, and another was the nuclear test at Pokhran. Okay, so this is the Indian polity at the time of 1947 to 2000, and these are the main leaders, prime ministers of India lead till 2000, 1947 to 2000. Okay, and what are the economic development happened when India became independent in 1947? It was gripped by mass poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, static agriculture, poorly developed industries, and inadequate infrastructure. And there was an urgent need, immediate effort on national scale to achieve the path of progress in the socio-economic front. That is, Jawaharlal Nehru was greatly influenced by the achievement of Soviet planning, but he also realized the importance of the democratic values, and he encouraged planning for rapid industrial and agricultural growth, and he encouraged mixed economy. As a result, both public sector, that is government owned, public sector is government owned, and private sector companies came into existence, and his fundamental objective was to build an independent, self-reliant economy. And what are the economic planning? The National Planning Commission was established on 15 March 1950 with Prime Minister Nehru as its chairperson. And the main objective of the Planning Commission were, first one is to achieve higher level of national and per capita income, and the next is to achieve full employment, to reduce inequalities of income and wealth, and to set up a society based on equality and justice and absence of the exploitation. Okay, these are the main objective of the Planning Commission. And the first 5 year plan, it started from 1951 to 56, and tried to complete the project at hand, including the rehabilitation of refugee. And it was only during the second 5 year plan, 1956 to 61, Professor C Mahalanobis, the noted economist, played a leading role. And this plan aimed at developing the industrial sector in the country, and rapid industrialization with particular emphasis in the development of basic and heavy industries continued during the third 5 year plan, that is 1961 to 66. And during this period, many iron and steel, chemical, fertilizers, heavy engineering, and machine building industries were set up in the different part of India. So that is on the third 5 year plan. And objective of the fourth 5 year plan, the fourth 5 year plan the time of 1969 to 74 was the growth with the stability and progressive achievement of self-reliance. The original draft outline of the plan was prepared in 1966 under the stewardship of Ashok Mehta, and popular economic slogan during this time was Garibi Hatao, that means removal of poverty. And the fifth 5 year plan, that is on 1974 to 79, 1979, was introduced at the time when the country was under severe economic crisis arising out of inflation, and there was increase in oil price. But the plan was dropped at the end of the fourth year of the plan in March 1978 by the Janata government. And in sixth 5 year plan, 1980 to 85, that is on sixth 5 year plan, aimed at strengthening the infrastructure for both agriculture and industry at to meet the minimum basic need of the people. And seventh 5 year plan, 85 to 90, emphasized on the accelerating the growth of food grains production, increasing employment opportunities, raising productivity. And 85 year plan, 1992 to 97, aim to achieve the goals, namely improvement in the levels of living, health, education of the people, full employment, and elimination of poverty, and planned growth of population. So that is on 8th 5 year plan. And the main objective of 9th 5 year plan, that is till 2002, where to give priority to agriculture sector, to remove poverty, to control prices, to provide food to the weaker section, population control, to develop panchayat administration, and to uplift the depressed classes as well as the tribal people. So that is the 9th 5 year plan on 1997 to 2002. And the green revolution. Okay, what is green revolution? The despite credibility growth of agriculture output in 1950s, India faced a food shortage in the mid 60s, and the increase in population and the huge outlay to the plan of industrialization put pressure on agricultural growth. And India was forced to import millions of tons of food grains, and the two wars with China. And 1962 war is there, and Pakistan war also 1965, and two successive drought years, that is 65 and 66, brought to enormous pressure to food production. And this background, the Green Revolution was launched in India with the aim of achieving self sufficiency in food production. And then the Prime Minister, that is Lal Bahadur Shastri, Food Minister C. Subramanian, and Indira Gandhi, who succeeded Shastri in 1966 after his brief tenure, and put their effort to the development of agriculture. And the term Green Revolution was coined by Dr. William Gard of USA in 1968, when Indian farmers brought about a great advancement in wheat production. And the introduction of modern method of agriculture such as high yield variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides, agriculture machinery such as tractors, pump set, and agriculture education considerably increased the food grain production in India. And India attained food self-sufficient by the 1980s, and the effect of Green Revolution were notable in the northwestern region of Punjab, Haryana, and western UP, and the Andhra Pradesh, part of Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Next is growth of science and technology. And independent India has also witnessed a tremendous growth in the sphere of science and technology. After 1947, Nehru became aware of the significant role of scientific research and technology for the progress of India. And India's first national laboratory, the National Physical Laboratory, was established in 1947. It was followed by 17 such national laboratories for specializing in different areas of research. Nehru himself assumed the chairmanship of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. In 1952, the first Indian Institute of Technology on the model of Masha's Institute of Technology was set up in Kharagpur. That is, subsequently IITs were set up in Madras, Bombay, Kanpur, and Delhi. And the expenditure on scientific research and science-based activity has increased by the year. So that is growth of science and technology. And there are about 200 research laboratories in India carrying out research in different areas. And the Department of Science and Technology, which was set up in 1971, has been assigned the responsibility of formulating science policy. And atomic energy, so there is Homi J. Baba. May all of you know Homi J. Baba. And India was the one of the first country in the world to recognize the importance of nuclear energy. The Atomic Energy Commission was set up in August 1948 under the chairmanship of Homi J. Baba to formulate the policy of all atomic energy activities in the country. And the Department of Atomic Energy was set up in 1954 as executive agency for implementing the atomic energy programs. And in 1956, India's first nuclear reactor in Trombay near Bombay, first in Asia also, and began to the function. Research and development work in the field of atomic energy and allied field are carried out at three research centers, namely Baba Atomics Research Center at Trombay, and Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research at Kalpakkam, that is on Tamil Nadu, and the Center for Advanced Technology, that is on Chennai. So this is the development of atomic energy field. Next is space research. So India has also evinced interest in space research. The Indian National Committee for Research, Space Research was set up in 1962. Side by side, a rocket launching facility at Tumba came up, and the first generation Indian National Satellite System, that is INSAT-1, represents India's first step towards implementing national requirements. And the INSAT-1A and INSAT-1B serves countries need in the field of telecommunication and meteorological earth observations. And the ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, looks after the activity in space science, technology, and application. And the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center at Trivandrum, the largest of the ISRO centers, is primarily responsible for indigenous launch vehicle technology. And the ISRO Satellite Center, Bangalore, is the satellite technology base of the Indian space program. And the SHAR Center, SHAR Center, encompassing the Sriharikota Island in Andhra Pradesh on the east coast of India, is the main operational base of ISRO, which is the satellite launching range. Okay. So that is the space research in India and India's foreign policy. And that's also important. After 1947, India began to follow an independent foreign policy. It was designed by the first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He developed the basic principle of India's foreign policy, and he was the architect of the non-aligned movement during the Cold War era. Also, he extended support to colonial countries in their struggle for independence, and Nehru outlined the five principles coexisting or Panchashil for conducting relations among the countries. What are the Panchashil? That is, one is mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Next is non-regression. Third one is non-interference in each other's internal affairs. And fourth is equality and mutual benefit. And peaceful coexistence is the fifth one. So these are the five principles under Panchashil by Jawaharlal Nehru. And India plays an active role in international bodies such as Commonwealth and the United Nations Organization. And after the independence, Nehru decided to stay with in Commonwealth and organization consisting of former British colonies. And India had also played an active role in the UN peacekeeping forces in various parts of the world, and it had sent its troop as part of UN peacekeeping mission to Korea, Indochina, Suez Canal, and the Congo. And India had to fight three major wars, that is 1965 and 71 and 2000, that is with Pakistan over the issues of Kashmir. And India maintained friendly relation with both USA and USSR during the Cold War era. And in 1971, India and USSR signed the Indo-Soviet Treaty of Friendship and Alliance during the Bangladesh crisis. And India and China are the two most important powers of Asia. These two are the most populous countries of the world, and also they possess the significance of proud history and civilization dating back to ancient times. So this is the foreign Indian foreign affairs with the neighbors and other countries. And India and China uh, are the two most important powers of Asia. And when the communist regime under the leadership of Mao Zedong was established in 1949, and India was one among the first countries to recognize the People's Republic of China. And in spite of India's friendly relation with China, India had to defend herself when China attacked India in 1962. And the emergence of Bangladesh as an independent state with the active help of India was an important event. And during the liberation struggle between East Pakistan and West Pakistan, India supported East Pakistan. Okay. And the coordinated approach of the Indian forces along with the Mukti Bahini ultimately led to the liberation of Bangladesh. That is, Bangladesh is the East Pakistan side. Okay. In December 1971, India is maintaining friendly relation right from the birth of Bangladesh in 1971. And India has also been maintaining friendly relation with its neighbors, for which purpose the South Asian Association of Regional Corporation, it's called SARC. Okay, South Asian Association of Regional Corporation was established. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Maldives are its members. And the aim of SARC is to increase economic, social, and cultural cooperation among its members. And periodic meetings are being held to achieve this goal also. So this is the picture of India and their neighbors. Okay, China is here, Pakistan is here, Nepal and Bhutan is here, Bangladesh is here, Sri Lanka, Maldives. These are the neighboring countries of India. This is actually the SARC countries. Okay, so here is star. It's denoted SARC countries, and that is India and neighboring countries. And here is Tibet. Okay, in between Nepal and China, there is Tibet also, and so this is about this unit, and all basics we covered in this unit: India after independence, Constitution of India, we discussed integration of princely states, we discussed, and linguistic reorganization, and Indian polity also we discussed till 2000. Okay, and prime ministers we discussed, and economic development, economic planning, and green revolution, growth of science and technology, atomic energy, space research, India's foreign policy, and that is Panchashila of Jawaharlal Nehru, and the neighboring countries of India. So we will discuss world history also, and after this, actually, modern history is winding here in this unit. So world history we will start, because World War I, World War II, and all we will discuss. And so this is today, we end here. In between, any doubts you can comment it on our comment box or contact us anytime. For more NCRT series, you just do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.